an indication that I disagree with you, because we understand that he gets to review an incident when the two officials, that's the main referee and the VAR, disagree on an incident. Meaning that if he's not going to the VAR, then it means that the VAR referee accepts with him, what he's saying. So meaning that once the players were telling him, go and check, I just felt that he should have used common sense on that occasion to just go and look at the incident again, because this was a very defining moment in the game. It was going to change the outcome of our tactics and all that. So he should have at least gone to the monitor and checked the VAR, which he didn't do. Fine. Now people are also talking about the goal we considered, the Barbara Man goal. Yes, I'm looking at the key incidents in the game.
You mean the one scored by Joao Felix?
The Joao Felix goal. I've looked at the game over and over and over, and I feel that we need to sometimes cut Barbara Man some slack.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Why?
See, aside that mistake, he tried to come back in. I think he had a decent game, in my opinion.
He created the 2 goals.
The Osman Bukari header was his assist.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 90 minutes, if a player commits one offense or one mistake which leads to a goal, I think you understand why Ghanaians will come at him that, oh, but I've looked at the critics and some people go to the extreme.
Let him finish.
We've seen, ask yourself that, okay, people are saying Barbara Man out. When you look at the options we have at left back, minus Barbara Man, we can list the players out there and ask yourself, do we really have confidence in our left backs aside Barbara Man? There's Gideon Mensah.
You know the way coaches
Listen,
look at him.
I know.
You just can't help it. The way coaches look at Pichichi, you can't help it.
I need to make my point. You look at Barbara Man.
Pichichi, forget him.
Aside Barbara Man, there is Gideon Mensah. There is Dennis Nkrumah Kosa Azofok. There is Patrick Pozo, and also Ibrahim Imoro. These were the left backs in the 55-man list. Ask yourself, if you were a coach of the Black Stars, would you pick any of these players ahead of Barbara Man in such a crucial game? When you know where Barbara Man is coming from and all that, what he's done for the Black Stars. Now, we've seen Gideon Mensah in high-profile games. For Imoro, he's not tried and tested at the Black Stars level. Then it's Kosa, local Black Stars, is a standard. We look at the options we have as left back, and I still think that despite the mistake Barbara Man did yesterday, he is still the best choice out there.
What?
Yes! Barbara Man is still the best choice out there. You put Gideon Mensah in this game, and I can tell you, he will not be that exceptional.
At least.
You put any left back in the 55. You put any other.
Bruno Fernandes
See, that's
Bruno Fernandes Baba Emo. That goal, Bruno gave it to Baba.
You let him.
Sometimes I agree with people who say he did a mistake. Yes, it's a mistake, but look at where he's coming from. Why don't you credit Bruno Fernandes and the sort of awareness and the sort of pass he gave to Joao Felix? It's a difficult ball to defend. You see, he was running, and sometimes when you are running and someone kicks the ball towards you, to stop and block the ball, it's a difficult technique. As a former player myself. As a former player myself. As a former player myself.
You will never play under me. If you are saying this, Baba couldn't stop that ball.
No, see, when you are running, any left back out there can attest to this. And when you are running,
were you a left back?
No, I was more of a winger. At training, I defended sometimes. When you are running and someone kicks the ball towards you, to stop and block the ball, it's a difficult technique.
Trip yourself.
If you don't, he was trying to cover the space between himself and Joao Felix.
He wasn't covering the space.
So if you try to stop at that instant, it's difficult.
If you remember the sequence of play, so the ball breaks down. Partey tries a left-footed, lofted pass.
Yeah.
The ball is headed
Someone
down.
heads it.
No. The ball wasn't headed.
No, I'm coming. So the start of the sequence.
The ball went to Jordan.
Someone headed it before it went to Jordan.
Listen. Let's be fair.
Okay, wait, relax. So eventually, so the ball moves from our right towards the ball breaks. Portugal gets it. They play one
pass. How did Portugal get the ball? Jordan lost it.
Okay, so
he wanted to pass pass through the human being. Many. No
But let's put it
finish. So I still think we need to cut Babaraman some slack. Yes, despite that mistake, he had to make amends. He had an assist in the game. I think it was a decent performance, irrespective of what happened. That led to the João Felix goal. He did well to make amends. And also, some are also against Otuado and his substitutions. Now, I understand why 15 minutes to end the game, he will want to take out Mohamed Kudus, Andre Ayew, and also Aliou Seidu. Listen, all these three players were on a yellow card. Aliou Seidu had a yellow card. Andre was on a yellow card. Kudus was on a yellow card. And as a good coach, 50 minutes to go, 1-1. Your final, the last 50 minutes to go. I understand why Otuado as a coach will try to bring players who are not on a yellow card and change the players on a yellow, because it was a risky part of the game. If these three players commit another offense and they are red carded, then you have a huge game at your hands. So I thought I understand his mentality to try and change these three players. It's a gamble. And I keep saying this, that as a coach, you are only vindicated when your gamble works. We are here praising Hervé Renard some days ago because what his gamble worked. And Otuado tried to go to gamble the final moment, switch his formation. It didn't work. But the way we are going at him, trying to say that he's not a good coach, part-time coach, we told you guys. No, see, Ghanaians like this attitude of, I told you so, and I'm vindicated, and all that. It's a gamble he took. If it worked, we would have been here praising him. It didn't work. And I feel that the team showed so much positive for what the Uruguayans, for what the South Koreans. And I think that, in my opinion, if we are to approach these next two games like the way we did in the second half, we have a good chance of progressing.
Yeah. All right. I'll get Susu's thoughts and Daniel's thoughts. We'll talk a bit more about the future, what we should do next. I think we've spoken a lot about what went wrong and what didn't work. Chris, okay, now let's... Relax. No, Chris, calm down. Let's put away all the emotions. Now let's break down what went wrong in that game. So first of all, let's look at... first question. Do you agree the Ronaldo penalty was a good call or not?
That was a bad call.
That was a bad call.
That was all day that wasn't a penalty.
All day. Yeah. So if that call had been given to Ghana, we'll say it's still a bad call. It's a horrible decision.
Look, you remember I condemned the penalty we got against South Africa. I condemned it. All day that wasn't the penalty. So likewise, I will stick to my principle. So that evens things out.
Exactly. Great. Now let's look at the game itself. For you, where did you think we lost this game?
I think we lost it per the personnel we had on the pitch.
Okay.
The system, I have always said, it has to be a back three, transition to a back five. But that system was built on a proper counter-attacking game.
Okay.
Because we knew the Portuguese would play a high line. There were moments, in fact, not moments. Anytime they got the opportunity to suffocate the Black Stars in our half, they were virtually on the center line. When I say virtually, it means their back two were virtually on the center line.
Ruben Diaz and
of course, Danilo. They were on the center line. So what that meant was that we needed proper runners of the ball. The wing backs, Aliou Seidu, naturally is not a wing back.
But I thought he acquitted himself.
But defensively, because of the threat on that side, he did a fantastic job. And when you come to the left wing back, in that first half, look, his body orientation in receiving every single pass from Salisu was wrong. Baba, his body orientation.
Every single pass.
No more. Come on.
Every single pass.
So Chris, I said that in 90 minutes, every time Baba Aman tried.
I said in that first half.
Okay, you
every single no more.
Every single pass.
Go back. Every single pass he received from Salisu, because his body orientation was wrong, he had to pass the ball backwards. Can you remember one occasion where he attempted passing the ball forward? There was none. The one that he tried, he was crossing the ball from just he just went past the center line,
Something
and he
he
was
does.
crossing the ball from there.
But that's something he
Something he
does
does.
quite often.
And he does it very
Listen,
well.
I'm saying he was crossing the ball from just after the center line.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't cross the ball like that if you're a
That is
wing back.
crossing
That
from
is
deep.
why. That
It is
is
his
why
strength.
the assist he did. He crossed the ball where he had to cross the ball. You don't cross the ball from the center, just in the half of the open.
Okay.
Cross the animal.
The day's goal started
Oh,
from
no.
Barbara Man.
That wasn't a
with
cross.
a through,
It was a pass.
through pass. Through
Kudus.
pass, which cut through straight to Kudus. All Kudus had to do was to cut the ball.
Was that a cross?
That is his strength. His
I'm
ability to
saying
pick
that-
passes from deep.
And I'm saying
Tell him to
that. And
stop
I'm
it.
saying that he was crossing the ball from that. It's wrong.
Okay. It was wrong.
No,
It's not wrong. He's been doing it.
He was. To what extent?
If I remember correctly, Barbara Man set up this goal for Andre Ayew in the 2015 AFCON against South Africa. I don't know how many people remember that goal.
Yes.
Okay, the cross
He was
wasn't.
crossing the ball from where it should be crossed.
I mean,
Well, watch that.
It wasn't that advanced. It was
Oh,
halfway through.
But you have fair me. Jama cross for you. Cross.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
So his body orientation was wrong. I maintain that. Secondly, look, Messan Kambio. They didn't. If we don't use him wisely, we should forget about progressing in this tournament. I don't know why people are still not seeing that the man has lost 6 yards of genuine pace, and therefore he should be starting from the bench.
Okay.
I have said he goeth to the tournament
He goeth.
as a number 9, as a 18-yard box player. He got in the box once in 70-something minutes.
And then boom.
Bam! Into the back of the net. That is where he should be. Per the system we are playing, he's not going to go past any player, and we saw it several times yesterday. About Dossi, ne do 360, ne Logoshi, ne Lagai, ne Gumo, me and the chipas. No more. No me. The attack that we are will be progressing. If the attack.
To be fair to you, there was a sequence. And
no.
so remember, DK, I'm sure there was a sequence where the ball broke. I think somebody made the run. In my mind, I thought Andre was going to lay the pass, and he kind of turned.
Actually,
Shikome.
Shikome. Bah! Anye. Enye felo kono. I am saying this. Give him the last 25 to 20 minutes. I'll be the first Ghanaian to jubilate. Because Andre will put the ball in the back of the net. Look, in that last 20, where most games are settled around that time. Most games.
Our game came alive in the last 25
Exactly.
minutes.
That is where we needed the young man. That's where when we needed him most. Pa! Eba told me I want no anya. Wa acha picture. Wa acha picture of a video. Coaching him.
Jam Brothers.
Me like abo no mo. Wa can't. Because of his presence in that game, our midfielders couldn't pass the ball forward in that first half. Later, you saw that. When Partey and Salis picks up the ball, there's nobody running ahead. Look, there were 2 occasions where Ali Dusedo picked up the ball on the right side in the half of the Portuguese. Instead of Andre running forward, he left the center and went all the way to Alidu. Give the ball to your boss, Kache. Give the ball to your boss. Oh yeah, ni gbeke Chile. Ne dosi, ne chi, ne he, ne dosi, ne chi. Atwa abo na kanemo. Atwa abo na kan. So the earlier we begin to accept that and find look, when Stephen Appiah was benched in 2010, he was a far better player than the day Ayew is today. True or false?
False. That I disagree with. Appiah was not on form at the time.
And I'm saying that.
He
Did
was
he
always
have
injured.
Look.
Yeah.
Oh, listen.
He was, yeah.
He was
Listen.
not on form.
You see, when I say, I didn't say, I said he was a far better player.
In what sense?
In what sense? Are you telling that Stephen Appiah contribution against Serbia, against USA, is what the day is doing for us here?
Don't you see? Don't do that.
Stephen Appiah in 2010, he was running better, he was passing better, he was controlling better. Didn't we see
Yeah,
that?
but you see, the point is that to start with, by default, he's a midfielder. So some of
And
these
that
things
is
will
why
naturally come
should
to
not
him.
be asking the day to drop into midfield. West done cost 90 equal to 0.
Okay.
Work done costs 90. Is equal to what? Zero. So he should not be asking the young man to drop into midfield. But by the system we are playing, we need that extra midfielder who, on the transition, is very, very mobile. We give Partey options. We give Kudus option. We give Salis options to pass the ball forward. He never went ahead of any of them. He never. Even in the goal, he came from behind. And it cannot be like that. It cannot. It shouldn't be like that. We are looking at tactical movement. Off the ball, on the ball. What is his contribution? Zero. And I maintain that. Put him in the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes. No more. In La Cabo. The deba will go. Neba no banya.
Okay.
Because some of us, we know how big a player he is. But after being around for over 15 years, you cannot treat him like a 25-year-old. It is never done anywhere.
Okay.
He's still an important player to this team. That is why the technical team will have to use him and use him very wisely. That one, I'm done. No more Baba. A ball model. Look, he's a defender, and fundamentally, he should learn how to defend. If you cannot defend, you have no business being there.
Oh,
Because yesterday in that first half, do you know how many times Salisu had to cover for him? Let's say per the system, it gave us a proper defensive line cover. So anytime they went past him, Salisu was there. That is it. But you cannot be all the time. Ajebo naka 1v1 alogabo. You have to stop that. Now on the go. Bruno Fernandes, he passed the ball to Baba Rahman, true of us.
Oh, how would he have passed?
It's a true ball.
You see, the true ball, who did he go to?
Oh, but why would Bruno Fernandes pass Baba Rahman?
It's a true ball.
All that I'm saying is that
It was a
Bruno
bad
got
pass.
the pass wrong. So the ball was presented to Baba.
So it was a bad pass.
That is what I'm saying. Was it not a bad pass?
Well, I mean, how can we tell? Because he eventually found the
Not the
target.
ball at it.
We go to Joao Felix.
Dabi. The ball went through the legs of Baba Rahman.
But
True or false?
did it?
Come on, that can call it that.
Chris,
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
saying that you see.
See,
Let's
not tree.
wait,
not
I'm
tree.
saying
Call ball. No, I can't humble. Can't in play Ajibuni humble na kapase. E ba ton sulia.
One more ball, let me
Man
simple.
chakebo no sharp. Man chakebo no oya. Come and sit down. Quick.
okay. So why do? So what do you
And I'm
think?
going to show you
was
why.
he- okay.
I
Was
spoke
his
about
body
his
position
body
wrong?
positioning. Everybody go back and watch the game. Okay? When we lost possession of the ball and the ball was given to Bruno Fernandes, it was a 4v2 situation.
4v2 in favor
We
of.
had 4 defenders. And then there were 2, Joao Felix and Cristiano Ronaldo, with Bruno Fernandes coming from the midfield. And Salis was going to what? Block him. So when Bruno took the ball away from Salis, he was going to look. Yesterday, on that sequence, that was when I realized that Salisu, no more, he's a top defender. He saw the danger. So he moved to block the channel. And that is what Baba should have. Baba should have moved towards Salisu and forced Bruno to pass the ball wide. And that would have meant that not Baba, but Salisu would have now gone to what? To do the covering.
Okay.
But look at what Baba did. He didn't keep his eyes on the ball. The moment the ball got to Bruno Fernandes, he panicked and was looking at Joao Felix. And if you look at the way he even turned, no more. I wish this was a television.
Yeah. He didn't go through. He didn't go through.
He
his-
went this way.
Okay.
So when the ball came this way, he was completely done. So like I said, Bruno gave the ball to him. But because his body orientation, which had been very bad throughout the game,
Okay.
we were penalized. But like every good team would do, after we considered that bad penalty, we had to respond. So, look, that response you saw from the Black Stars was a natural phenomenon.
You go down by a goal. You want to come
A
back.
goal that we all felt that we've been cheated. Come on, let's go, everybody. Let's put this referee to shame. That Moroccan American referee, let's put him to shame. So the team naturally responded from the bench. Everybody, boom. And then we got our equalizing goal. If you're a coach, what will you do?
At 1-1.
At 1-1. A team is most vulnerable just
After you've scored, yes.
So the moment we scored, bang, 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 everybody, take the steam and keep your shape. Let's go back to our back five and let's wait and see what they will do. It was lack of recognition of the quality we were playing against. Because I believe that if the technical team had seen that we had just equalized and we were more, look, oh, we were still jubilating when we considered the second goal. True or false? Psychologically, the bench, they were still jubilating when the captain was, no, bah, so that's what I'm saying, that everybody calm down. And that is the coaching aspect.
Okay, so wait. So we just scored 1-1.
1-1.
What do you think Otuado and the technical team should have done?
So 1-1.
Because at the time, Otuado made 2 changes.
No, at the time the changes.
Okay, the changes hadn't come in. Okay, so at that point, what would you have expected?
We should have just coiled back into our back five, low block, and then weathered the storm of the Portuguese. And usually that takes between 5 to 10 minutes. Then, if you want to effect any change, then you can go ahead. But then a certain tempo would have been established away from that back and forth, to and fro, bam, 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 like that. That was where the technical team got it wrong. 1. Do you change your Maradona in football? Do you change your Betty Pele in football because he has a yellow card? Do you change him?
That's a tough one.
No coach
will take off their star player.
What player need be your ball? Get a ball ne kudo me, ne do fijam, ne passage, ne do me. Any child Portuguese be a me tell you, me if you me. A jia me kudus, a jia me ke joy da. Ne push your ball. When you push your ball, it have to check your me. On grounds that because you call him, that is why he plays for Ajax. Kudus, win the card. So quickly, use your brain. And the card he collected was a silly tackle, isn't it? All you needed to do was to get him in front. Look, young man, focus, concentrate. When your card and the tackle him be a jai nenko. That's all. That's all. You would have done that. I would have done that. Pichichi would have done that.
I won't do that, coach. I won't do that.
That is why you can't be
You won't do that.
I won't do that.
And you do what Otuado did, and you get beat. Like we got beat. Now you understand what I'm saying? So why?
Okay.
In 1992, Abedi Ayupele in that semi-finals against Senegal, he got a yellow card in the first half. He played the entire 90 minutes. I can give you several examples of key players who's been booked. Manager defender. He's your best attacking threat. So do you say because he got it? Look at the output of the young man. He was virtually our progressor of the ball. By force, I can't judge about a ball. Meaning,
not necessarily.
No more. No more.
Okay, so the change was made and Jordan came in.
When change, what sort of change was that? What sort of video analyst is sitting there in our team and he's telling them to effect that change?
Hold on, let me ask you a question. So Otuado decides he's going to make a change. If you are with him, he says, I am pulling out Kudus.
I will tell him immediately, don't do it.
Okay, but what if he decides to? Which options on the bench should he have thrown on?
There was no option on the bench to replace Kudus, so don't do it. No, but Kudus. Who would have come on the pitch to do the things that Kudus was doing?
Okay, you wrap it up. Let me take the toss.
No, I can't find. And look, in football, in the last 10 minutes or before the last 10 minutes, naturally, every player on the bench should be warming up.
In the last 10
minutes. If you understand football.
Or before the last 10
Before the last 10, every player. Oh, like a they were not warming up. So the game just passed them by like that. He should have left our team like that. Because Shea, who is a very good player, who would have drive the team forward, he was not ready. Do you see that?
Yeah, his first
4-5
touches were really off.
And my checks confirmed that they were called from the bench. Who does that? Who does that? I mean, scouting a coach or coach scouting coaching.
Come on, because
That is
that's
no more. Ona, ka you are no quality. Nye pele na ba you are no quality.
Jena kai, be fair.
Inja ko lenjele.
No, but to brand him as
Trainer scouting.
scouting coach.
Trainer scouting. And it
Chris,
showed
be
yesterday
fair.
that
Chris,
he
be fair.
no more.
Be fair.
Ona, ka aye nye pele. Je trainer scouting.
But he's not.
I'm not so I'm saying trainer scout coach. I've not said he's a coach of a team by trainer scout and it became clear that was a trainer scout way of coaching. Because the point I'm making is we gave the game away. Nathan, don't you agree with that? It was a complete giveaway. And what made it even worse, it was given away by the technical team. Don't you agree with me?
Well, to an extent,
No,
to a large extent.
no, it's small. You
You asked me, do I agree to a large extent?
To a large extent, they gave it away. Simple. To a large extent, either they gave it or they didn't give it away.
What did I say? You asked me, and I'm saying to a large extent.
Okay,
What if I also have other
to a large extent, they will conditionalize me.
You make your point.
They gave the game away to the Portuguese. No one for why I cried like a baby. I cried. And come on, we have to be very, very careful. No more in the next game on Monday. We need to take bold decisions.
Okay, you
Decisions that will help this team.
okay. We'll talk about the bold decisions.
Baba.
We'll come back to your
Baba.
Relax.
Wolfen was support Ole. Since that man's injury, defensively, he's been poor.
Okay, you hold on. We'll come.
Only
Relax.
session.
Relax. We'll come back to what you do.
Session.
Just
Can you explain that to viewers? Anyway, session.
He should take a back seat.
Ebeshin. Ebeshin. Na ke Gideon wo me. Ne twa. E ba nyi ba cheki. No me move forward. Going forward. Brilliant. You saw the assist with his unfavorable foot.
Yeah.
Brilliant for Baba Rahman. Shinome ehana awo.
Okay, you wait. We'll come.
Normally, ehana wo
nah.
Bruno passes. I can control ball.
Okay, relax, Daniel. Let me bring you in. Let me bring you in on. Oh man, Black Stars. They will always generate. Okay,
I have to sit and listen to the K.
DK. I don't know where you want to take
Nathan,
this from.
look,
Yes.
seriously speaking, if we all decide
Uh-huh.
that we'll look at one player,
Uh-huh.
okay, and highlight one or two mistakes the player made and use it to dress the player that the player is such a poor. Look, we can catch everybody.
Uh-huh.
We all saw Kudus yesterday.
Yeah.
If I want to make a case per the tangent that Kudus seems to be going, that
First two mistakes.
that
of the
Kudus
game.
also shouldn't play in the next game, and that Kudus is a bad
Yeah,
player. I
first
can
two
go that.
mistakes.
I can go down that same
First two
route.
mistakes. Kudus.
But you see, it's not fair. Look,
But see, first two
Okay,
mistakes.
wait.
first of all-
Daniel is speaking. Let's
First
go.
of all,
DK 1 minute, please.
not 1 minute. When you were talking,
What were those mistakes?
the one relax. The one-on-one save that Atizigi made.
It was a bad pass from
No,
Chuku.
that's a Kudus mistake.
It was a bad pass from Chuku because of the back three. The one in the middle should be a good pass of the ball. How was the pass given to Kudus?
It was a very strong pass.
Strong pass with the bad weight behind the ball. I mean, I don't think
Okay.
ball.
Okay. Look,
You let Daniel
Daddy go on.
from the beginning, numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Okay, you might remember some two mistakes, and that's what I'm saying. That's the interesting thing about football, and with players, especially Baba Rahman, when it comes to the Black Stars,
Yeah.
there's already this preconceived mentality about him. So you see one mistake, and it means he had a terrible game. But the numbers are here, and they will not lie, and they will never lie.
Please let him finish.
Look, according to the numbers, Baba Rahman wasn't dribbled past yesterday. And when coach was making the point, I quickly asked Susu to check for me. Do you know why? Because in yesterday's game, Portugal they didn't even use the wide areas. So I was thinking to myself, I never saw Baba Rahman being dribbled past. So I asked Susu to
No, you're
check.
not listening.
And he's
Every
brought
recovery
he's
he-
look,
Oh,
he's
let
brought the
him-
numbers.
Let him finish.
He's brought the numbers. Baba Rahman was not
Dribbling pass,
dribbled.
it was not about recovery. It will count that they've dribbled past.
No,
Yes.
Anytime he went forward, the ball he couldn't come back.
Look,
That doesn't mean
Baba
he was dribbled
Rahman
past. Every recovery
wasn't
he
dribbled past anybody
Yo.
by
Pass
anybody in
anyway.
yesterday's game. He had 4 ball recoveries yesterday.
And he dashed the goal.
4 ball
was not
recoveries
part of
yesterday.
the
That's the most.
Chris, let him finish. Oh, why do you do this?
Look, when you look at his passing accuracy, medium passing accuracy, he attempted 8. He was successful in 8. 100% record.
Nice one.
His short passing,
Medium passing.
attempted 17.
Nice one.
He completed 15.
Impressive.
Just 2 short passes he misplaced.
And if Nate, where
Nice one.
when Nate is sitting, I can give him. He can give me. I can give him. He can give me. Less than 5 years. Everybody will complete that.
Oh, you let
Yes,
him
boy.
finish.
No more.
In long passing, and this is where my point is. Yesterday, Baba Rahman had a very he was integral in our build-up play.
Exactly.
He attempted, and the numbers are here, more progressive passes than anybody on the team, even more than our midfielders. The numbers don't
How
lie.
many did he get right?
7 more than all our midfielders.
Okay.
Attempted 11 long passes, and that should tell you that it is an instruction that he's been given.
Okay.
He was supposed to go, and you look at 11 long passes. You look at most progressive passes, 7, most on the team. Look, in as much as you may not like him, he ended up with an assist. Even the goal that Dede Ayew scored, it started from a Baba Rahman.
I said it.
Through pass, cut across the entire defense. It was literally that's a chance
I
created.
said
All
he did
Kudus had to do was to cut the ball back.
I said that.
So when you look at all these numbers and you look at this
He said-
performance,
I-
coach,
I-
when you were talking,
I
we
said
were
it.
quiet. I didn't say you didn't say it. I'm saying it. I didn't say you didn't
why are
say
you
it.
doing this?
No,
Let
but
him
he's
finish.
referring to me. Okay, as you may not like him, but I said he did well on the
Okay,
pass.
so let him finish.
Okay, no.
You've made your point.
Well, what?
No more talk.
Any ball electron is I hope it's part of the statistics.
Quentin, let's go on. Why do you people do this? Let's
Baba
go.
Rahman, left wing back, had the most passes into the final third for the Black Stars with 5. So he has most progressive passes, most passes into the final third. 3 shot creating actions, second most on the team. So offensively, you can clearly tell that he was given a job to do. And per the numbers, he was successful. Our 2 goals came from Baba Rahman. If that's what I'm saying, look, if you pick one defensive action where he clearly made a mistake, that is fact, and you use it to cover the entire game, and that Baba Rahman he's not good, and Baba Rahman he gave 1 goal away, he created 2. He created 1 goal away.
Chris, let him
He
finish.
gave 1
Let
goal
him
away.
finish.
He created 2. You see, let's be fair. That's what I'm saying. Don't analyze games. No, relax. Look, don't analyze games, and this is where I'll get emotional. Don't analyze games based on your likeness for a player. It's not fair.
Nobody.
It's not
Let
fair.
him.
No, seriously, I don't like fair.
I understand. But he's
No,
not saying
what
something
I'm
that
saying- no.
I have a personal hatred.
No, I'm not saying you have a personal. I'm not saying you have a personal.
No, I'm the one analyzing. I just analyze the game here. You shouldn't say that. When you say,
Coach, I'm not referring to you.
Don't say
So
that.
I've said it. I've
Don't say
said it.
But
I'm not referring to
Let
you.
him make it.
I'm not
You're
referring to you.
referring
Ghana
to you.
no chumachu. Ghana no chumo. Afe nyami eje. Kagbomo ebo moden.
Okay, you've made your point. So let him make his.
She personal life.
No,
or
but
dislike
he's
for the
not
player.
saying that because of you.
No, he said I've highlighted one player because I don't like the player.
but he
shouldn't
Chris,
say that.
Chris, he's not talking about
shouldn't
you.
say that.
He's not talking about you.
Okay, no
There are,
I said I'm not talking about you.
there are lots of Ghanaians who have said the same thing.
No, what nani?
No, I'm not saying so. You have made your point. Let him make his point.
This delay tactics that coach is doing. I don't like him.
Coach has a way
Charlie,
of
it's okay.
I don't like him because the tournament is not over. Next Friday we'll be back here.
No more. I wash me.
Look, Nathan, what I'm saying is that if you have a preconceived mentality about somebody, it is very difficult for you to actually appreciate what the person is doing on the pitch. And that's why I started my point, my submission by saying, if we all want to pick one player and highlight that this player is was the problem, we can find. If you want to, you can find. Kudus had a terrible first half.
The entire team.
Iñaki had a terrible 90
The
minutes.
entire team.
But why aren't those performances being highlighted? Baba Rahman made a mistake, yes. But Baba Rahman was the reason we scored our 2 goals. Whether you like it or not, he did his job. Defensively, he made a very big mistake, which was punished, yes. But then, he recovered. He created 2 goals. Let us look at the game as a whole. Okay, I was really impressed with the starting lineup.
Yeah.
I was impressed with the approach. It was excellent. I said it before the game. When you understand who you are facing, you approach the
prepare
game accordingly.
Definitely.
You don't go with your ideal, let's go and play and impose. No, you can't go and impose your philosophy on an attacking philosophy on Portugal. You can't do that because that's what they want you to do. So you go out and you try and contain them. It's the first group game. It's not a must-win game. And that's what the Black Stars did. They contained. In that first half, there was no chance created from the only chance they got came from that Kudus miscontrol. They never ever carved the Black Stars open. It was so comfortable in defense. We were so comfortable. All they were doing was passing the ball side. They were not doing anything with the ball. Then the penalty came. We conceded it. Fine. Dubious decision. It has passed. Ronaldo scored. Then you respond. Now that is the moment
Daddy
where I felt that.
You should highlight that. Your daddy is a cheat. You should highlight that. It's very crucial. When you like Ronaldo and he does something wrong, you don't want to say it.
But he said it on TV.
No more. No.
Let's go.
You should say it before you continue.
I'll not engage.
Daddy Ronaldo is a cheat.
Why should I say? You want to say you should say something? You say. You want me to say what you
Tell
want
me
me
to say what I should say.
say? Baba Rahman is a good player.
He bought more than I don't like a more than that. I should say no. He bought more than
Okay, let's go.
After Ronaldo scored the penalty, we responded. Perfect build-up. Excellent goal. Now, that was the point where I felt the technical team let us down. And I'll say this. Fans are allowed to be emotional.
You can't be emotional as a coach.
Technical team, you cannot be emotional.
and more.
Look, you are most vulnerable when you have just scored. And this is where I feel like the inexperience got to us.
The inexperience
of the technical
team. Okay.
Look, once we scored that goal,
In another without
You-
the trainer scouting coaching thing
Oh.
Look,
Cool, move
once you score that
to
goal,
use that, I will use it.
once you score that goal, the first thing you do, and for me the most logical thing to do, was to go straight back to plan A.
Oh, you are.
The players who started that system were
DK.
still on the pitch.
DK.
You go straight back to plan A.
For once,
Continue
you agree
defending.
with me.
He agrees with you all the
Dabi.
time.
Continue
Yeah, Baba
defending.
Ramape.
Okay, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. When Portugal make attacking changes,
Then
then you react to
Respond.
it.
No more.
Don't take the initiative, because the fact that you've equalized doesn't mean you are better than them.
Charlie.
Once they scored, they were sitting back waiting to see how you respond, and then you got your goal. So when you score, don't open it up, because that's exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah.
And you see, this may sound controversial, but it is factus. We considered that goal because of our change of approach. It was the same personnel on the pitch, but the
But we
approach was
changed it.
different.
Yes.
In the first half, we lost balls in our own half.
No, we didn't. We stuck to the game plan.
But by the time the ball first pass, there's more than enough men in the middle of the park to close it down. But see where Jordan lost the ball. That's why it's very difficult for me to blame Jordan he lost it in the opposition half.
Yeah.
And 2 passes. Just 2.
One,
The
two.
midfield was non-existent because they had bumped for it. It was, hey, we are on top.
It's true.
And
you mentioned
everybody
it.
was just moving.
This morning, I was watching the game
Yes.
again, and I froze the frame.
Everybody was in front of the ball.
Just when the ball broke, I noticed that Charlie, there were 2 large
Look,
acres
yes.
of land
Also,
on
even
that
that-
side.
Look, even that we had 5 men behind the ball.
Yes, it was 5 men in front, 5 men behind. But
that was
you see,
good defensive shape.
No,
I'm waiting
look,
arrival of the others. I agree with we are saying the same thing.
Yeah, but at that at that side of the pitch, at that particular moment in time, if we were doing the right thing, Jordan loses the ball, we'll recover.
We'll
Simple.
recover, okay.
It won't be a chance. 2 passes. That should show you how bad it was. That 2 passes.
One centrally,
Willie Carvalho,
one
to
Bruno to Joao.
straight.
Baba
It's a
Barama
goal.
inability to control the
Yeah,
ball.
that is true.
You have to say that too.
Had
No,
you
back after.
had
He
you
thought fully
maintained that shape, this wouldn't have happened. And now, once Portugal scored that second goal, perfect position for them because now we need to attack again. And once we went for it, look, they are counter-attacking team. That Portugal are a counter-attacking team. I sat here and told you, look, if we sit back and we defend, there is no way they can score us. I told you people, Portugal don't have that Fernando Santos. He can't have his team pass you around the pitch and create spaces. They can't do it. So all we had to do was to go back to plan A. And nobody will fault you if you end the game 1-1.
Oh, Charlie.
It's supposed to. It's not a must.
beat them. Yeah,
It's
by
not
force.
a must. But we got carried away by emotions.
He's the coach.
And then we ended up losing the game. But look, when we talk about moments, we've spoken about this thing, but that last minute chance, that Iñaki chance, you see, those are the moments that they just change the whole perception about you. They change. He was basically a passenger the entire game. And I'll call him out because if it was somebody else, we'll call him out.
Okay.
So I'll call him out. I don't think he applied himself enough in that game.
Okay.
He wasn't getting into enough physical battles. He wasn't given enough options. There was a point where when he turns and he sees Andre is not coming, then he's also there. But that Andre's movement shouldn't affect your movement.
It
You
should.
should keep running.
It should.
No, it should not.
It should.
It should not.
It's about trigger.
Look,
and
he has
anticipation.
space. Look,
If you trigger the move and then
you
it's
wait,
not
you
anticipate,
wait,
work down
you
the zero.
wait.
Look,
Can't you
the
finish?
Portuguese were playing a high line in the first half. There were moments where we pick up the ball. Okay, you make the run. Even if you make the run and they are not picking you, like what he did in his first 3 games, which I admire.
Especially the
movement.
Nicaragua game.
Just keep moving. You will drag them away. Look, every single Portuguese defender over there knows who you are. They know you are Iñaki Williams. They know you love playing on the shoulder of the defender. They know that if they give you the space and that pass is made,
You
they'll
go
be in
for it,
trouble.
yeah.
They know Partey. They know Partey can pick that pass. So if you keep running, it doesn't matter whether the ball is coming or not. Just keep moving. But he just reached the point, he stopped. And that was my problem. Then that last moment, that is where you take the opportunity. You get me? You take the opportunity. That's where composure, as a number 9, composure counts. He slept fine, but when he got up, he was rushing the opportunity. It was an empty pool. Okay, what I felt he should have done. Once he picked up the ball, he slipped. He could see the oncoming defender. That's why he was rushing the shot.
Yeah.
Put your body in front of him. He knocks you
He
down. It's a penalty.
clutters you in penalty.
It's simple. You are in front of the ball. If you know that you are going to rush the kick and you probably miss it because you could tell that he was jittery, just put your body in front of the ball. The guy hits you. Penalty.
I guess the timing, you are 3-2 down, injury time, everything.
No, see, Nathan, that's experience and
So that's
composure.
the experience.
That's the composure. That's the composure I'm talking about.
Never last 20 minutes. If the day had been, he had gotten that chance. No more picture.
Look,
What can you buy? Chicken na me on drain. You charm me picture. Na me on drain. Attack it, Omo. No, you.
It's okay. You let
but in
it
saying this, I can boldly say that this will rank at least top 3 World Cup performances for the Black Stars.
Yeah, I thought
Top
that was
3, especially when you consider where we are. Nobody really expected the Black Stars to go out in this game and stand toe-to-toe with the Portuguese. So there are positives in this game. I feel like in the game against South Korea, we need to go a bit more offensive. And in doing that, personnel must change.
Sure.
I don't think Ali Dussedu should start at right wing back. I don't think Baba Rahman should start at left wing back because we need a bit more attacking impetus. Guys who are the flair is there. Gideon Mensah has that attacking flair. Defensively, he is not as good as Baba Rahman. But in the game against South Korea, on paper, we have to win that game.
But aren't you sacrificing too much to get that
No.
that result?
Because South Korea, technically, they are not as good as Portugal. Okay, yes, they have 1 or 2 good players. But with the right system, and if you're able to put enough pressure on them, with Tariq Lamptey at right wing back, he will pressure. He's running up and down. His pace will be a problem. And coach said something. When you have defensive players who can also cause problems up front, it limits the amount of attacking incursions your opposition will do. if Gideon Mensah and Tariq Lamptey ran up and down 1-2 in the first 15 minutes, and the South Koreans see how dangerous they are, they will not allow their wingers to be bumping forward and be putting pressure, because they know that if they leave that space, that will happen. So go with your best attacking foot forward, and I think that is what we need to do. I agree with Coach. In the game against South Korea, for me, I won't start Andre in that game.
Why? Because of what we are chasing.
Look, the Koreans are quick. They are fast. They have energy. They run. We need somebody to be able to match that. An attacker who will be able to match that. For me, I'll go for Kamal Soa.
I see.
I'll go for Kamal Soa. Or Efriye Banye. Personally. No. Do you know why I'll not go for Kamal Dean? He doesn't do enough defensive action as the other two. I know that Kamal Soa will track back. He will work. Banye, look, whatever you ask Banye to do, he will do it for you.
Yeah, Banye, yeah.
For me, in that game, we need to match them. I think if we sort of try and contain the Koreans, like what Uruguay were doing, look, the game will easily end goalless. But if we go at them and force them to open up, if we go toe to toe, end-to-end stuff, player for player, look,
Cavani, Agba boy.
Look, I feel like it's really a winnable game.
Okay.
And we have to get that 3 points. Because, look, you don't want to go into that final game against Uruguay, which is already an emotional encounter.
You see, if we're to beat Korea,
We are
what should that
settled.
beat Uruguay?
We are
We need a
settled.
draw to qualify.
Simple.
And
And that helps. So Monday is a must win.
Monday is a
Do I
must
think
win.
we can win it?
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Still listening to Sports Panorama. Your messages are coming through on 0549 986 996. Program is brought to you by Betway. Betway is saying that you can win 30,000 every match day in the World Cup. Just sign up and play for free at betway.com.gh. T's and C's apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission. Not for those below 18. Betway, for the love of the game. The greatest trophy in football is up for grabs from November 20 to the 18th of December. It's the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Watch the matches live and in HD on Super Sport, only on DSTV. Get your decoder today for just 169 CDs and upgrade to compact to watch all the games live and in HD, or renew your subscription using *759#. DSTV, it's your moment. Let me bring Susu Grammy. He's been quiet all evening, just listening, laughing, giggling, and all of that. Susu, you've heard Coach Pichichi Daniel. Daniel's been talking about what we must do on Monday. Looking at all the things we saw yesterday in that game against Portugal, how do you think we should set ourselves up to get that result we want against South Korea?
I'll talk about that, but I just want to just touch on everything that everyone has said. I feel like everyone has made some good points. Some I agree with, some I disagree with. But I just want to make a general overarching point, and it's something that it happens to all of us. We are usually, because of the nature of football, it's a very low-scoring game compared to something like basketball or ice hockey or American football. So every goal matters more. So when a player makes a mistake after a good game for a goal, it can be blown out of proportion. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to get into this debate because we've had enough of it. So let's kind of move on from whether Baba Rahman played or all of that. But when a player makes a mistake, it becomes magnified because there's not that many goals in the game. So it's something that we should all be mindful of, that outcome bias is very real. So a good example, someone like Daniel Choi who came on. Daniel Choi was on for 9 minutes. He managed to lose the ball twice in the midfield. Similar to Jordan Ayew, also came on and lost the ball twice. But when Jordan lost the ball twice, we conceded. So no one is going to remember Daniel Choi losing the ball. I'm not saying this to say that Jordan didn't mess up, because the second one especially, I felt like he could have done better.
The ball in 10.
Exactly. So it's just to say that a lot of players made mistakes. That not everyone, it's not like the players who made mistakes were the only ones who made mistakes. We should be fair to the players.
The one that got the team punished are the ones who highlight.
But that's my point, that we are forgetting a lot of players. And even back to what Daniel was saying about Kudus, first half too, he lost the ball a lot. So sometimes we should also be mindful of this, that though they cost us goals, they are not the only ones who made mistakes. They are all trying their best. And look, this is a time, let's all get behind the team. Maybe when we are playing qualifiers, you can start insulting the players more, because those ones, the AFCON qualifiers, you can get through it easily. It shouldn't be a problem. So I just want us to, let's forget about it. They did very well. They put up a good fight. Some mistakes were made. It happens.
You see,
But
they
let's
did very well. There's nothing very well about that. The point is gone. I'm a ball modern. The next one is an opportunity. Go and make it better.
Okay.
Finish.
Susu.
Yeah, so like I said, let's just get behind them. Yesterday is gone. Monday is a new day. And like Daniel said, this is a game we have to win. And this is a game, if we win, we put ourselves in a very good position.
What
Because
qualifies him?
I don't see Uruguay beating Portugal. I just don't see it. They looked very blunt against Korea.
Suarez, Cavani, man.
If you look at the group, we and Korea are the teams that kind of are the teams that both teams on paper should be beaten. And the fact that Uruguay looks so blunt and impotent against the Koreans, it makes me feel like we have a very good chance against Korea. We have a very good chance against them when it comes to that game, because they didn't do anything that looked inspiring, because they hit the post twice, fair enough, Uruguay. But if you look at the chances, a set piece and a Fede Valverde long shot, those things can hurt us, don't get me wrong. But in terms, for me, as a statsman, the things I like to see are when you're creating high quality chances regularly. And I didn't even see that for the Portuguese. The Portuguese didn't even create high quality chances against us. And even when the game was open, it was only because of the space we got. It's just that they had space to shoot. But the chances themselves were not chances that I said that you have to score those chances. So everything about our performance in that respect makes me feel good, that I'm not afraid that teams will carve us open. And if we play 70%, 60% of what we played against the Portuguese in terms of our defending, we should be fine against Uruguay and Korea, because we saw them play against each other. They couldn't hit a bando. One shot on target between two teams over 90 minutes. They are not very good. They clearly can't be that good going forward. So I'm very okay with that. And I agree with Daniel in the sense that about the Dede Ayew thing, and coach as well, about him not starting, that he did cost us in the game, in the sense that in the midfield, he didn't have the energy. And when you're playing on the counter, you do need that energy.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a mistake. So if he was going to play, he should have played up top. He shouldn't have been in the midfield trying to do things. Though he was winning free kicks with his turning, it was slowing us down, because if the Portuguese defense gets set, I knew it was going to be difficult for us to break down. So he needed to kind of move the ball faster. So if we have a bit more, energy and penetration in the midfield, we can do something. And maybe the answer to that is Salis going to the bench and Partey and Daniel Tre starting, because we want the win. But the flip side is that too offensive? Do we lose too much defensively? Because Salis had a very good game. He had a 94% pass accuracy. I was just checking. He kept it very neat and tidy and did what he was supposed to do. And for me, Partey's performance was a bit disappointing, because you've been freed a bit by Salis's presence to kind of progress the ball more and do more in the final third. And we didn't really see it.
But would you want him doing that at the risk of ceding too much midfield ground?
Well, that's why I'm saying that Partey has been freed by Salis's presence to do more, and that's why it disappointed me. Even though his best position is where Salis played, we've done it to kind of free him up and let him do more in the final third. And I don't know whether that's the right decision.
I think that's the right decision. But to get that to flourish, provide runners for him up front.
Okay.
Because he's more like picking the pass. But when you've got stationary people who are immobile,
so that's another tactical decision that will be very key and to make a big difference if we get it right. Because I like the security of Partey and Salis, especially because knowing that this game you don't want to go for it too early. So maybe if after 60 minutes you haven't gotten a goal, you can say, okay, we'll take off Salis and bring on Tre and kind of chase the game. So there's all those things to think about. But I want to see us use the flanks more. I don't believe we did enough on the flanks. And it hurts me because the two times we kind of attacked Cancelo, we got joy. And we didn't put enough pressure on Cancelo. Even Rafael Guerrero, their two fullbacks are not very solid defensively. And it's almost like we didn't test them enough. And that's what hurts me. I guess we were playing narrow, but we just didn't test their fullbacks enough. And we could have gotten more joy. But when I look at Korea especially, the lack of big names. And I'm not saying that you need big names to win, but when you look at that team, our player for player, we are better than them. If not, we are just as good, if not better. So I want us to kind of try attack. I'm not trying to say go try and play Barcelona football, but let's be more positive, let's be more attacking, and let's try and make something of it. So by the time we get to the Uruguay game, there's less pressure on us. And the emotions mixed with the lack of pressure will make it a much easier game for us. Because if we know that we just have to secure a draw against Uruguay, we can just keep it balanced. Solid enough that we don't get overrun, but enough threats on the counter that we can punish them, because they're also a very old team And if they need the win,
Thiago Godin eventual.
and if they
When I think about you guys, the only thing I get worried about is set pieces.
Yeah, and their midfield. If we can set pieces,
Valverde,
I get very worried.
I'm not even too worried about their midfield because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe
I
if
think I
Partey
said-
and Salis have a good day,
we
they
can
can match them. That's not so. If we we go into that game knowing that we need a draw, there's not too much pressure, and the boys and we set up ourselves tactically. Honestly, Otuado set up tactically fine for most of the game. We've talked about his mistakes in the substitution and that kind of stuff, but it's not like he got his basic approach completely wrong. That would have been more of a disaster. But these moments, it's a lack of experience, and we know he doesn't have the experience, so it's only natural. But once he got the general approach right, I'm confident that he'll get the approach right in subsequent games. So I'm very confident going into the next 2 games that we can get out of this group.
All right. We'll go through your messages in a bit. 0549986996. I think we should go through some of the messages. And when I'm done with the messages, I'll just take general thoughts on the competition. Everybody's other favorite game apart from the Ghana-Portugal one. Some of the funny moments you've seen, ridiculous moments, all of that on the show. Abenso from Spaintech says Otuado needs to learn emotional intelligence. His ability to control emotions after the this equalizer cost us the game. This one says, hey, Coach and Daniel, you guys got my 2-year-old daughter during the during the prayer. I just can't stop laughing. You guys go kill us for her. That's Ken in New Jersey. Kingsley, who's in Amasaman, says if Ghana is going to win the next games, I think Baba Rahman and Jordan and you should not play these games. They are the reason we consider the second goal. All right. Alex Doing says, belated birthday, Nathan. Thank you very much. The birthday was 3 days ago, right? 3 days ago. Says Sika and Sifie. Okay.
Gobesika and Sifi.
I think no. Okay, that's from Gobe. Okay, this one is a different message. The other one came from Xylix doing. Gobesika and Sifie, aka Addicted to Gobe, who's listening to us from Dansoman, says Coach Ado set up his team to be beaten and to be cheated. Even though the day you scored and Barbara Man also assisted the second goal, which I stand by. Okay, I think those two cannot be part of the team we want to build. Okay, Moses Kofi Noy says, is it true there's an agenda to eliminate all African teams? Hey, Ghana people and conspiracy theories. Hey, who said there was an agenda to eliminate African teams? Okay. Ama Ejewa says, I've been waiting the whole day to listen to you guys. Thank you very much, Ama. We appreciate the fact that you've taken time out to listen. Accra Man Qatar from Abokobi says it's Friday. When Sports Panorama seizes the airwaves, we know the stress will be eased. Please tell Coach Otuado to deploy the tracking and getting free tactics to ensure that all the players are served with Fufuilinge with sumptuous wonu. Okay, all right. Elon says, I realize Messi and CR7 fans in Ghana love Portugal and Argentina more than their own teams. I don't know where you're even getting this from. Stanley Nachimota says, a very big shout out to your colleague Rahman Osman. I listened to Ghana's match on the BBC. The commentators referenced him for a piece of info he had given them before the game. I was very proud. Okay, if that's true, thumbs up to Rahman Osman, the Wolfman. Yeah. Benjamin says the referee can only go and check.
A lot of animal references on their shoot.
Yeah, man, all kinds of crazy animal references. This one says the VR. Okay, the ref can only go and check the VR if the people in the VR prompt him to do so. The question: did they prompt him? The players cannot tell him.
That was very strange that they all agreed that was a
yeah.
penalty.
Mike Dean
didn't look.
Yeah, Mike Dean.
It was too questionable for all
Mike
of
Dean,
them.
former Premier League referee, said he couldn't believe what he was watching.
That's the thing. It must have been
Everybody, not even McDean. All the ESPN, they've all said, come on.
Exactly.
That
But
decision
that's the
was
thing.
a
The fact that
pathetic
was unanimous that there was no dissent from any
All
of
right,
the
this
referees.
this one says, to begin with, the whole penalty issue, we need to be quiet. It's a 50-50 decision. Even Ronaldo's first goal, that was allowed. Okay. So some people are saying Rafael Leão's goal was
50-50.
offside. Okay, that's Tony texting from Lagos. Essentially, Tony is saying that we should keep quiet. We shouldn't complain about the referee. That's okay. That's
I
fine.
would say the only thing that bothered me about the referee was that decision. I'll be very fair to him.
But nobody said Rafael Leão's goal was offside.
They were saying a lot, quite a lot of
But that was a
people saying it
good goal.
offside.
That was a good goal.
He was on onside. He was
because we
onside.
didn't see the replay. Because we didn't see the kind of. Remember, we saw it on the show, but at the time during the game, we didn't see it. So it was very difficult. A lot of people weren't sure if like there was it
Okay.
was a right decision. But
All right, more of the messages coming in. Kofi Johnson says first, Houghton picks a solid lineup for you and you go and mess it up with a silly change. Otuado,
Why do people get this?
What is their evidence that
He had though. I was in this town.
in their lineup?
This town, all kinds of crazy theories fly here. This one says, if I was Salisu Ayu, I would have sat at the penalty spot until the referee decides to review it. I don't care about the red card. Sometimes you have to act a bit crazy to get the desired results.
Kulusevski, don't do this.
So the players won't risk.
Exactly.
One Kaseni.
You know that- no.
Kulusevski.
Kulusevski, it's not allowed.
Didn't you hear what happened with the one love armband? Small yellow card, people are running away.
All right, this one is from
So
Zamo1
good.
from Latebio Koshi. Says, tell Pichichi Baba Aman was not exposed in the first half because of the shape of the team. The moment the shape changed, Baba was exposed, and everybody saw why he shouldn't be in the team.
What's
Big ups
exposed? Oh.
to big ups to.
May expose. Oh, but coach, I've explained why that part, that
It's
defense was
okay, guys. Let's
difficult.
move on. Big ups to Lipu Mama. All right, this one says, coach. For the first time, I disagree with you. Ayu was our best player on the pitch. For the first team
By
in the-
far, by far.
no, it's somebody's message. Let me read it.
Far.
He says Ayu was our best player. Okay. The so-called party was horrible. Showed no commitment. Okay. Kofi from Tema. This one. Yesterday's match was a painful one. I can only wish them well in the subsequent games. All right, guys. General thoughts on the World Cup. We've seen Brazil. I saw Richarlison's goal. Lovely goal he scored. That's a brilliant one there. Danny Kranti, your other team, Brazil. Neymar won't be around for the next 2 games.
They put my two teams in one group.
Oh.
It's not Ghana and Portugal.
Okay.
Put Ghana and Portugal in one group.
I thought you liked Brazil.
Oh, I like Brazil.
like Brazil.
I love Brazil. But let's focus on Group H first. Let Ghana and Portugal qualify.
I like Spain.
You saw them play against Costa, but that was an easy game.
No,
That was an easy game. Costa Rica just came to exist.
They would dominate every opposition.
Let me ask
Ball.
you. You said,
But-
do you think?
No, I agree
how
with
far
you.
do you think they can go?
Look, because they don't have a natural goal scorer, I think they needed somebody of a David Villa. They take the cup.
They have Alvaro Morata.
Oh no,
Don't
please,
forget.
please,
Look,
please,
if they
Morata
had
will come good.
anybody in the mood of a David Villa,
They'll win the
cup.
game. They'll win the
They
tournament.
win it because they'll create chances. It's a matter of who puts it in for
Puts
them.
it in. Interesting.
And that is what it's going to come down to. Because of that, look, Charlie, truth be told, the French team is looking really, really good.
But you see, we
Thoughts
also
on
need
France?
to consider the opposition they faced.
Yes.
Okay,
I think Australia are one of the worst teams.
they are one of the worst teams at the
Look, this
competition.
French team.
Costa Rica to Deschamps.
No, more like I can hand them,
You
baby.
know how everyone has been talking about how Africa has done well. CONCACAF has done worse, actually.
Somebody was saying that FIFA should organize a match between Qatar and Costa Rica as the 65th game.
Oh, those score.
So we see who wins that
Everybody will beat Qatar.
But Nathan, I would like to see how Argentina will respond.
after losing.
After-
Yeah, that,
after
we
what
talk,
happened to
yeah,
them, yeah, I
that was
think-
a shocker.
Exactly.
It's tomorrow, eh?
Why are they playing it?
Argentina,
Mexico.
Yeah.
Hey!
I think
Honestly,
it's
I believe
because
Mexico is will be an easier game.
for them
They don't
every
have that
game,
tactical
every game
discipline.
now is a final for Argentina, and I like
Hey,
what
Ocho
most
Wanyama.
of, most of the
Ocho
players
Wanyama.
said that yes, their defeat against Saudi Arabia is already gone. They are still hopeful that they have the quality, and I think that's key. They believe in themselves. Just a matter of trying to see what they do next. And I think that the Saudi Arabia defeat is a wake-up call. Now, a team that has won
Chop us.
36 matches.
Hey, chop us.
It's not
Pichichi
a
chop
team-
us,
a
Charlie.
team that goes into the World Cup on the back of 36 matches. The last defeat was in 2019. They needed such a defeat to let them know that, see, you guys are not invincible. And that's very important. I think this Saudi defeat came at a very good time for Argentina. Now they've seen that even Saudi is the lowest team that they will be meeting towards winning the World Cup, because now they have Mexico, which is better than Saudi, Poland, and they move to the knockout stages. So now that they've
Who
lost to
said they'll move to the knockout?
now that they've lost to the weakest possible
in their group.
opponent, I think that it's game on for them. And I
I'm
think
sure they'll
how
beat
they respond
Mexico.
now is
It's
key for me.
Poland and
I know they
Mexico.
can do it. Yeah.
Their coach has a problem.
Scaloni.
Hey, a problem no more.
Oh, how?
Oh,
Oh, no, see, it's not fair.
Every coach has a problem.
Otamendi and Romero have formed the partnership that has. That's all. They are the ones who won the Copa America.
Why does coach have a
It's about
every coach at the
partnership.
World Cup?
Okay, Chris.
It's about. It's not about this thing. It's not about.
current form.
It's not current form.
But Chris, you know that.
Oh, no more.
Okay.
The butcher.
You think he should start?
It look. If he had not even, they would have collected like 3 against Saudi Arabia. Otamendi, per the system we are playing, couldn't pass the ball from the back.
Coach, I decided. Saudi Arabia had 3 shots the whole game. They weren't going to score anything.
No more. No need you, OG. This team don't have runners. True or false?
True.
Okay,
No,
true.
apart from Lautaro,
They don't have runners.
So which means that when the transition is being done, you have proper passes from the back. Who passes the ball better than
Licha.
the butcher? He brings proper balance.
The butcher will sit on the bench.
They'll
Otamendi will play.
go home quick.
And I'll be happy.
And they'll go home quick.
And I'll be
If
happy.
he puts the butcher on the bench, Mexico will beat Argentina. Simple.
Poto. And the butcher will be on the bench.
Because that boy,
Mexico nyame.
Ochoa Nyame.
I know where they are coming from. It won't happen.
Ochoa nyame.
You know me, Argentina is my team.
Our team.
Everybody knows
Our team.
I support Messi.
Yeah.
If you put Hero and Messi, I'll
support
pick
Messi.
for
I didn't ask you to choose.
We'll go for
I
Messi.
didn't.
Me, I'll
Nobody
choose-
asked you to choose.
I also pick Messi.
Nobody asked you to
The
choose.
fact of
That's
the
why you lost.
The
You
coach
should go and win.
be smart.
It's not the coach.
Messi too will dive
It's
next
not the
season
coach.
and he
The
will
coach should be smart. And
don't
do
care.
the right thing. That's all.
You're not smart.
That's all.
You're not smart. It's a
Okay,
World Cup.
so far, which team has impressed? I mean, apart from if you take away Ghana and the emotional
Maybe
connection.
I think personally I want to wait after the.
I think England. I think
no.
England have impressed.
Oh, come on. I mean,
They are
I
there
mean, try-
fumbling. They are huffing. Yeah, we'll not say what it is.
Southgate is infecting
you know the story of the
pulling
three
out
little pigs.
Bellingham.
You
He's
know they
introducing
are
Henderson.
huffing and puffing and they are not blowing the house down.
He's bringing
They are
Henderson in to come and do what? But coach, Foden tabench.
So you the heavy coach as
No, but Foden should be on the pitch.
Scaloni, sir. Southgate is sir. Otuado, sir.
I think the only coach likes is Luis Enrique. Apart from that,
Even that guy has a
As for
problem.
him, I have a problem with him.
hey, God.
The problem is he can't tell me that David De Gea of the 3 goalkeepers he took shouldn't be in the Spanish team.
But look,
He has
guys,
to do what?
you know, very interestingly, Luis Enrique's Twitch account.
Apparently it's fun. Me, I wish I understood
He's there,
Spanish.
Chris. He has a very interesting account where he talks about coaching and he says to him when he's picking a national team, he doesn't look at club form.
Yeah.
That is it. He says club form, dear. He doesn't think about it at all. He looks at the system. Can you play in it? Yes, come. If you can, sit down.
I wish more managers would do that. As in every day, like 1 hour, they'll just brief us on
But you know, Chris, you know, it's the reason why, for example, in Brazil, when this Firmino business came up, why is Firmino in and why is Richarlison in? And Teach made a point. He says, listen, this gentleman.
But he's never liked Firmino, from what I understand. It's
No, but
more
look,
so that
the
Firmino
Brazilian
is
team
not
needed
about
a
very
natural
difficult.
They
It's
need
not
a
about
goal
life,
scorer.
it's not about
Firmino's
life.
form at the national team has
It's
been
bad.
When
While
I mean,
Richarlison
I mean,
does
in terms
well.
of the stylistic fit for the national team, he's not really wanted him, but because of his form, it's almost like you can't not pick him. So once he has strikers who are in form, he'll pick them ahead of Firmino. That's more what it is.
Wow, interesting.
That's what
so
I
you've
to
seen
say.
Spain winning heavy. Yeah, England, who are currently huffing and puffing against the USA. We'll see how that one plays.
Mexico, who will do the job for me tomorrow.
So we are saying our Argentina are in danger. Is that what we are
There's
saying?
no
But they are in danger.
There is no dangers.
German.
There's no danger.
Yeah, let's talk about
As for the
Germany.
German,
The Germans
they
are in
out.
trouble. Yeah, the Germans are in trouble.
You don't
They are
think they
out?
can beat Spain?
You think
Oh,
that
no more.
No. The Germans are in trouble.
Enrique
Forget
will,
more.
will do the
Enrique
magic?
Batua pa Gavi ke Pedri. Agbe na omo. Numo Busquets ejo fu tuma ajo fu godo tumo doko echi no aya here.
And what about France?
Look, those 2 wingers
Mbappe and
you have to find a way to stop
I'm
them.
actually more surprised that Deschamps is playing Dembele and Mbappe. I thought he would have Rabiot or someone else on the right wing. Because remember that's what he did the last World Cup. He played Dembele and someone else the first game. He didn't like it. Then he brought Giroud in. Then put Matuidi on the left, Mbappe on the right. So I thought he would go with that formula.
After all the players they are missing, when the substitutions were made,
quality.
you saw those they brought
Yeah,
on.
they had quality.
No matter Dembele like a coma by me.
What? Teams have depth.
Oh boy.
No, but their midfield is light. That's
That is the
why
challenge,
It
yeah.
will hurt them.
Look, I missed Pogba. You see, those sublime
Over the top.
over the top passes. Oh no more.
Like we chop back to back.
Like because this.
But it
guy-
means that now France will have to go more wide.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why he let
Okay.
them be.
Rabiu and Chouameni, they don't see those passes. They can't
So
execute.
give the
them.
ball to Dembele and Mbappe. Let them run. Guys,
Argentina.
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 Vamos a ver.
Nathan,
I'll go with the
the
spreadsheet favorite.
Argentina Saudi Arabia game, did Messi play the
He
entire
played.
game?
He scored a
full match.
penalty.
And he played the full
And
game.
he was on the pitch doing his own things.
He didn't fake any penalty.
He didn't fake.
He didn't steal it.
Ronaldo's penalty that he faked, no, it's 2-2. They've taken
Yes,
the penalty.
it's
away.
2-2 in my heart.
Okay. I mean, it's your heart that used to qualify.
No more.
All right, guys.
Finish. Granting, there's this basketball
Basketball.
show going on
Basketball.
at the Gamashi,
Okay.
Jamestown.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Basketball.
Look, the whole Ghana,
Uh-huh.
you see, we like when people show initiative.
Proper
And they-
initiative.
and they
They
give back.
initiative, keke.
And they
proper
give proper
initiative
initiative. And they give back to the community.
to society. It's very important.
Dunk grassroots. Dunk
When you
grassroots.
come back, dunk,
Dunk grassroots.
grassroots.
Charlie.
Halagbe bibi.
Oh,
Bekan bibi. Under 14, under 13, under 12. Bekan
Charlie,
bibi.
bringing them together.
Bringing them together. No more.
Play
Like
basketball. 26th tomorrow.
and 27th
27th.
Okay.
Sunday. Saturday ke Sunday.
On the
Hoba,
Kamasi Development Agency, Jamestown.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
happening live.
Live. Look, come and see.
Street b-ball. Street b-ball.
But like Gama me ka afi no ko.
Afe,
But afi ke mi jene. When they say they are doing something
doing
here,
it well.
Jamestown, ka jiwane. So tomorrow, dunk grassroots
Grassroots.
basketball.
10 a.m.
No, have you seen some of my moves before?
Oh, Charlie. 10 a.m. sharp.
Here, no ni basketball players if you from all angles.
From all angles.
Vertically.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
shout.
So, coach, what you're telling us, you're a licensed coach in 2 sports.
No, basketball. I'm
No,
not
he's a
licensed
player.
coach. I'm a player.
Oh, okay,
Top,
okay.
top,
Oh,
top
okay,
player.
Dunk grassroots.
Okay.
Charlie, over 300 children. Over 300 children. They are coming together.
Bring your children
From
Bring-
6
bring
locations.
all of them.
So it's from here. They are gathering.
All of them.
All of
play
them.
basketball and enjoy basketball.
Oh, Charlie, sweet
All right.
one.
I just want to give a small
Yeah,
shout out.
yeah.
Our colleague Nick
Coach.
has said that some of his friends, so Bauer and the security guys at the Accra College of Education, they are listening to us live. in
Oh,
Cali.
Numo Bauer.
Numo Bauer. So
Numo
shout
Bauer.
out-
Numo
shout
Bauer.
out to you. Shout out to you.
Coach, they said the dunk thing, no. Football is part of
Baby ewu.
basketball
And football.
and football.
And football. Then I'll have to go and look for talent.
Oh, I'm telling
I'll be
you.
there to scout because I like the kids.
Uh-huh.
We know but I know too many. What's some many my
No, they sport there.
All right. Many thanks for listening. It's been another exciting episode of Sports Panorama on City 97.3. My name is Nathan Kwa. I sat in for Benjamin Nketia. I had Coach Christopher Nimley here with me, Susu Graham, Daniel Cranting, and Evans Ofochumansu, aka El Pichi. We are back next Friday. Many thanks for listening. Show proudly brought to you by DSTV and by Betway. We'll catch you again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.